This video was made possible by the EA GameChangers. Thank you so much, EA, for providing me an early access copy of Cottage Living. Hey everyone, so welcome back to my channel today, and we are going to be doing a brand new Sims 4 speed build. And so today, I'm going to be showing off my last and final build of my early access of Cottage Living. And it's kind of bittersweet, and I'm having withdrawals right now because this is the last video that I recorded when I had early access, so it's kind of scary, not sus, but still overwhelming. But to let you all know, this is not the final software of The Sims 4, so some things are subject to change, like the objects in the game. But let's go ahead and hop into today's speed build. Now, when I was building this house, I was trying to get a general idea of what I wanted to do for the overall look and feel of this converted barn and turned into a home slash loft. The house was like here for the New Start family with Cecilia, and I realized that Claire Siobhan was actually the one who built the New Start home, which is very cool and awesome, and Claire's a talented builder, might I add. Don't know Claire Siobhan? Link down below to her channel. Very nice, very sweet person. But when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I was looking at the surrounding area, the original build, some houses on Pinterest and Google, and I decided to go with a barn converted into a home, where the upstairs is just a bedroom and a little small balcony, and the downstairs is all open floor plan with the kitchen, dining room, living room, and hallway access is all just open to you, and then the entrance area or the foyer with the bathroom, and that's basically it. However, my brain was going all over the place, and I was just so excited just to record and be happy and just build whatever I could do. And so this could technically be a home that the Hermit from Granite Falls, if you don't know, the Hermit from Granite Falls is a random generized sim that pops up in the back corner. It's a hidden world in the wonderful world of Granite Falls, the world that came with the pack of Outdoor Retreat, which was a very, very long time ago. Now, here's the thing. The Hermit from Granite Falls grows their own produce on their lot. They also have a very good handling skill, I would assume, because they live in the literal middle of nowhere in the woods. But also the fact that they could be very open to the fact that they could have a simple living life where they grow their own produce, go to county fairs, and win medals or awards or whatever it might be. And so personally, I think that since the Hermit from Granite Falls has a good handiness skill or of some sort and makes their own produce, I think it's appropriate that they built this house themselves from with their own two hands. They found some wood in the deep part of the woods of Granite Falls or Hemford and Bagley, or they end up finding an area where they could buy the wood from a local, craftsman person or a blacksmith or whatever they could find in the woods or the people of Hemford and Bagley or Granite Falls. And they took everything, built it themselves. They found the foliage, put it up here, got the dormers that they wanted, made them how they wanted, and went about their day and did the dang thing. And honestly, I'm very, very proud of the Hermit from Granite Falls. Even though they're antisocial and they could be very good friends with Michael Bell or, George Cahill from Strangerville, I feel like those three Sims could really get along with no issues. I think when you really think about it, it could happen. Let me know in the comments below, who is your favorite townie that you just always remember all the time when you play The Sims 4? Is it Nancy Landgrab? Is it Bella Goth? Is it the sim that you created yourself that you play all the time? Let me know, what is your favorite townie or favorite sim you have created to this date? Because mine is my cats and dogs family, the Larson family. But it is what it is. It is what it is, but we all have our favorite. We all have our most hated. You just really don't know. Now, when I was building this house on the inside, the interior, even though I had come to the realization I only had base game and Cottage Living installed, I was like, why? Where are all the objects that I want to use? It's not enough I can do to furnish this house. I mean, in reality, there is. Base game has a lot of stuff you can do. But in my mind, I was like, I don't have enough to build with and furnish the house. But then in my mind, I was like the Hermit from Granite Falls, or a person who's trying to get a new start in life and doesn't really technically have a lot of money to furnish their home the way they want it, but only had a select few that they could use and go about their day. And so I was like, I'm gonna keep it very minimalist and try and furnish it to the best of my ability, was not overly cluttering it with too many pictures on the wall or too many landscaping things, but still keeping that look and feel of Hemford and Bagley with the vibe that I was trying to bring to the surface of this build. And when I was in live mode trying to test this out, I realized that the home on the roof, there's some weird roofing glitch that it looks dark and I don't know if that's gonna be fixed or not, but like I said, it's not the final software, so some things are subject to change, like decorations, like with the rabbit and the fox, but those other ones without them on them, I had like a weird glitch with them, so hopefully they get fixed eventually at some point when the new pack comes out on the 22nd. But overall, I still had a lot of fun building this. It took me only about, I think, 2 hours to build, and I've chopped it down to at least 16 minutes of sped up footage. But if you want to go see the real-time tour of this video, I will leave a timestamp down below in the description so you can check it out for yourself. I remember when I was in the kitchen for building this, I was like, oh, I can finally use all of my kitchenware and make it yellow and go wild with it. But then I was like, you know, I've done a lot of yellow builds in my lifetime, a select few, maybe 5, 6, 7. But I was like, you know, I don't want to go with the yellow this time around. I might as well just go with the blue and call it a day and go about my business. And it looked fine, because even though in the home that I did last week, I did like a green/yellow mixture of it, but then this one's just all straight up blue. And looking at the kitchen stuff, it reminded me of the country kitchen kit, where Cottage Living, country kitchen kit, Seasons, Eco Lifestyle, and then also Tiny Living work so well together with this pack. So like if you only have a select few packs or looking to buy any other packs to your disposal that goes along with this pack, I recommend Seasons, Tiny Living, Eco Lifestyle, Country Kitchen Kit, and Laundry Day stuff. Like those 5 packs alone work so well with Cottage Living. Like I didn't have the packs installed to like really see, but the overall like aesthetic and style of those 5 packs I just mentioned kind of makes sense. Like with Laundry Day stuff, there's laundry. You have the clothing hang wire that you can go put outside, the tub, which makes sense for the whole simple living, cottage living idea. And you know, tiny living, cottage living, city living, island living. We're just living the life that we deserve in The Sims, and that's all you really need to know. I feel like the Sims team was like, you know, maybe we should go with like another living title, so we're gonna go with Cottage Living instead. I mean, you go from the city to a cottage area, like Cecilia, who lives on this like generic lot originally. She was from the city and packed up her entire life to go to Hemford and Bagley, a cottage living world. She lived the city life to live the cottage life. So I'm like, coincidence? I think not. No. But I just think it's just very hilarious that we have all these packs that was like living or the get title, like get together, get to work, you know, those little get titles. And now we have the living titles. And I find it's not a meme. I find it's just like a simple thing that we already have. And I kind of like it. It's bittersweet and it's lovely. And it's wonderful. And I couldn't, you know, ask for anything more. Well, I could, but you know, not now. I just want generations. That's all you need to know. But tangent, but I find like just talking so much fun, just like talking out my feelings, talking about whatever I feel like it's on the top of my head in a video is very fun and very therapeutic to just talk about, even in my podcast, which I did. Check it out, link down below. But I think that being able to talk about either the build or the people who are going to live here and just overall this nonsense kind of gets me excited and inspired to just talk even more, but also do more stuff that has a story behind it. And like I said, even though the Hermit from Granite Falls could live here or just built the house for the sake of just building and wanting to sell it to like another Sim who was looking for a home to live in a new town, that I think that maybe this is the home for Cecilia, or it could be a home for some other Sim that is looking to move to a new area that they were not familiarized with. Like I said, I think that overall the whole general aesthetic of this entire build has come to a realization that I find very unique and different, and I want to do it again in the future. Like when I get Cottage Living, I do want to do a Cottage Living, Tiny Living, and Laundry Day stuff build, and maybe include Seasons into the mix. But those 3 packs alone, I feel like work really well. But if you want to add extra stuff into the mix, you can add in Seasons if you want to, and Eco Lifestyle. But the whole, like, if I'm gonna fit the whole cottagecore vibe, Laundry Day stuff, Tiny Living, and Cottage Living. So like those 3 packs alone, you could do no wrong. But like I said, this whole house is just basically very simple. It was the last build that they did. It was just kind of trying to get it done so I wouldn't lose access to anything, but it has everything you basically need. Pond to go fishing in, the bird's house, the rabbit's house, and even like the chicken coop. And I was gonna add in the whole like animal shed, but I realized that was a little bit too big, that I could not fit into the build. So I was like, scrap it all together and go about my day and just add the chicken coop, the fishing pond, pond, the birds area, and the rabbits area, and be good about that. Now, I added in the debug car, which you can't really use, but they're for like decorations, and I think it looks really nice. So I added in a bunch of like oversized crops, like the pumpkins, and I think also a watermelon and like a mushroom of some sort. But I think it looks really cool to show that, you know, you're going to the county fair to go show off your oversized crops and your eggs and whatnot and win a medal or whatever. But either way, I'm going to actually wrap up this portion of the video right here, right now, and take you all to my future self to show you off the real-time video of the speed build, and hopefully you all enjoy it. Let's go ahead and hop into the real-time tour. So now that we're into the real-time tour of this video, I wanted to say that this build was a lot of fun to do, especially utilizing all the build and buy features that it had to offer, including the wild rabbit's home and the flock of wild birds, even the chicken coop, and including the base game pond tool and making my own makeshift pond with some greeny moss texture from the new pack. And just seeing the fact that my Sims could wade here, play in the water, look for some frogs, or go fishing if it's filled with fish. You can plop some new fish in there if you want to. But I just think the whole exterior is very managed very well. Like the idea that I was going for was well kept, but overgrown and messy, but still giving that natural like environment look to it, where these bushes and trees were already here from the very start, but the pond was just made the way it was and kept the way it was. And so again, I say well kept, but messy. And so I will do it again. I honestly just find that making overgrown cottagecore homes are always fun to make because you can add so much to it with a backstory to make it make sense. But as for the interior, I wanted to see if I could do open concept. So I made sure I did the kitchen, living room, and dining room all open to your Sims to walk around and do whatever they wanted, with adding beams to separate from the kitchen to the dining room and living room. And I'm not really that good at open floor plan. I'm not good at it, but I try. I dibble dabble here and there, but I think it looks pretty nice. I'm a big fan of the living room just because of the fireplace and then the stuff I put under it and how small and quaint it is, so your Sims can do some cross stitching or some painting. And since this was my second build that I did with Cottage Living, I didn't really know how I was going to make the living room work. So some walls might be a little bit empty, but I think that opens up for, you know, creativity, adding in your cross stitching to the wall or some other paintings you might paint from the easel. Like you have a lot of like room for decorations for your own Sims, which I think is like kind of great. And then for the kitchen, I did not go with yellow this time for now. However, I will eventually do a yellow all built with Cottage Living. Best believe it's going to happen. But then the kitchen is like very blue and tan, and I added in this island over here with the new chairs, which I find just so cute. Like I really do love this house with the interior because it's so quaint and cozy, and it's my aesthetic of what I like of cottagecore. Even though I love suburban and mid-century modern, I also love cottagecore. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds in my humble opinion. For the bathroom, I put it into the middle, so you just have your tub, toilet, and sink. And then for the entrance area, it's very simple and very quaint. It's kind of a little bit dim, but honestly, at the end of the day, I think it looks perfectly fine the way it is. You have your bookcase over here, so you can read some books while you knit or crochet or, you know, cross stitch, whatever you might do. And then I found Agnes Crunklebottom's purse in debug, so I placed it down right here just because I think it's just decoration and like it just looks really cool. I personally kind of like it, but that's the whole like entrance area. And then for the upstairs of the house, it's more like a loft in a way when you think about it, because the bottom part is open to the floor, but also having the fact that this is like your upstairs and it's like it's your farm or your barn or whatever. And it's very small and very quaint. So I added in the new bed and the new rug and then the dresser and mirror, so your Sims can do all the cool things that they couldn't do originally within the game. And then I added in this typewriter and more cross stitching in another place of the home, because you can never have too many cross stitching boxes, of course. And since this home has really no patio technically, I added in a second floor balcony, so your Sim can sit and cross stitch or just sit and fall asleep. But this just looks, it just looks lovely. I mean, you have a front patio, and you kind of have a back patio, but lack thereof. Not really much from there. But I just think this house looks so cool. I'm forever pleased on how well this house turned out. And I kind of want to do like another build just like this, but make it smaller and make it a tiny home and see what I can do with it. As always, I hope you all enjoyed today's build as much as I did. I had so much fun. However, you won't be able to download this build until the pack releases on the 22nd. So we got a couple weeks before, you know, you get your builds onto the gallery, and so do I. But overall, it's a win-win. It's a great build to look at, and it just looks really nice, and you got some ideas for your own build. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the very next video. Bye!